Hello, fifth graders. Welcome to lesson 2.1, Divide by One-Digit Divisors. Let's get started. Today's objective is I can divide two-digit dividends by one-digit divisors using the standard algorithm with 100% accuracy. We are starting a new digital math notebook for Unit 2, but you'll need to do the same, pause, and type your objective into your math notebook. Today's lesson has some vocabulary words. I'll explain them first, and then you can pause to type them into your notebook. You do not need to draw the example. It is already in your digital math notebook for you. Our first word is division. Division is splitting into equal parts or groups. Our next word is divisor. A divisor is the number that we divide by. In this example, it is the 4. Our third word is the word dividend. The dividend is the whole amount, the big amount that we want to split into pieces. In this example, it is a 20. And our last word is quotient. A quotient is the answer after we divide one number by another. So you can see our quotient is the number 5. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Please pause to write the vocabulary in your digital math notebook. All right, fifth graders, great job. Let's really dive into this lesson. Remember that when you see the I icon, it means that you can put down your pencil and watch me. In this lesson, we are dividing two-digit numbers by a one-digit number. We would commonly see this as 40 divided by 5. We say the number that is inside the house first. We would read this as 40 divided by 5. We can think of this as 40 goes inside and shuts the door, and 5 stays outside. 40 divided by 5 would mean that we would have 5 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in those groups, we would split up equal amounts until we get to 40. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. In each circle, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know that 5 goes into 40 8 times. When we break apart our parts of the division problem, the dividend is the big number. So our dividend in this example is the number 40. It's the number inside the house. The divisor is the number I am splitting groups into. That's the number outside the house. Our divisor is 5. And the quotient is the answer. So we can also multiply 8 times 5 gives us 40. The quotient is 8. So I'm going to use a separate color here and just draw some arrows to show you where these are. 40 is inside the house. The divisor is outside the house. And the quotient is on top. That's our answer to our problem. Great job so far, fifth graders. We are still on an I problem, which means you are watching me do this. On the side, we have the steps for long division. You might have heard of this as does McDonald's sell burgers or dad, mom, sister, brother. But the steps for long division are divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. When we have a two-digit number that goes in evenly, like 6 into 24, we may not need all of these steps, but we will be modeling these throughout this lesson. 6 divided by 24 is not the way we say this. We say the number that's inside the house first. So even though the 6 comes first, we say the number that's inside the house first. So we would read this as 24 divided by 6. So let's see if we can identify the parts. So if we think 24 is inside the house, that means that the dividend is 24. The divisor is outside the house. That's how many we're splitting our groups into. So our divisor is 6. And our quotient is the answer. So 6 times 4 is 24. Goes in whole evenly, no remainders. We would subtract. Nothing is left over. So our quotient is 4. Great job. Are you ready to try a problem with me? All right, 5th graders, you have a copy of this page in your digital math notebook. We are going to fill out these boxes, and you can type them in to answer in your digital math notebook. This problem here is a division problem, and the first thing we're going to do is how would we read this problem? Remember, when we read the problem, we say the number that's inside first. So we would read this as 20 divided by 5. The dividend, you can think of divid in like the I is in, divid in is inside. The divisor is outside, and the quotient is our answer. So the dividend is 20. The divisor is 5. And the quotient is the answer. How many times 5 goes into 20? So we can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. That would be 4. So we would multiply 4 times 5. The 4 goes on top because it's going to go in 4 times. Then we multiply 4 times 5 is 20. We write it down underneath, subtract to make sure that there's no remainders or anything left over. If you need to pause to write this in your digital math notebook, go ahead and do that now. Almost done, 5th graders. It's time for the lesson activity. For the lesson activity, you're going to do one like we just did together. You're going to describe how you would read this division problem and identify the dividend, the divisor, and finally the quotient. We'll get started together. Remember, when we are reading a problem, we start with what's inside. So we would read this as 24 divided by 8. The dividend is the number that is inside. The divisor is the number that is outside. And the quotient is the answer. You need to replace these with numbers. So the dividend is what? The divisor is what? The quotient is what? And type your answers in your digital math notebook. Great job getting started on Unit 2. When you're comfortable with this lesson, complete the exit slip and be ready to see your teacher. Great job!